Welcome back. I'm Mason Leite, financial advisor with Martin Christopher Investments, and welcome to part 2 of this video series. Now, I promised in part 1 that this would be the next and most important step. Are you ready? So, what we will be doing is a cash flow plan. That's a fancy way of saying a budget. Now, I know a budget doesn't sound fun, but just hear me out. Any quick investment scheme or strategy makes you money once. The key factor with the cash flow plan and why it's so powerful is because it helps make you money consistently. It is what helps you set up organization and therefore clarity to your financial picture. It is how you are going to take control, so don't take it lightly. Now don't worry, I have a way of making this much easier for you. I put together a spreadsheet that you can use as a starting point, and we'll walk through together. You can access it via a link either in the description of the video if you're on YouTube, or if you found this on the website, you can access it via the description of the actual post. Alternatively, you can always just follow along with a pen and piece of paper. Feel free to pause the video at any time throughout the process if needed. I would expect you might need about 10 to 30 minutes depending on how fast it is you type and potentially do math. Now, if this isn't a good time, maybe bookmark the video and come back to it later. I would suggest that you do it within the next week though, while you have the momentum, as this is important. Maybe set a reminder in your phone. Sometimes what I do is I set an alarm for a certain time in my phone, even if it's in a few days' time. Here I have the spreadsheet that I attached for you in the description of the video, and what I want you to do is line by line, I want you to fill out each section on what your income and your spending is like right now. If it's something that you pay annually, such as home insurance, let's say, what you can do is you can just divide the number by 12 and consider it a monthly expense. So let's say it's $1,000 a year that I pay. If I just do 1,000 divided by 12, I get a monthly number. Make sure you do it based on what your spending will look like going forward for the average month. If it's something that's bi-weekly, like a paycheck, you can double it. Or, to be perfectly accurate, what you can do is, let's say I get paid $1,500 a paycheck every bi-weekly. What I can do is multiply it by 26 and then divide it by 12. And that will get me an accurate number. Just make sure everything matches the time frame of 1 month. If it's different each month, then just do an average. Maybe figure out what it would be annually and divide that number by 12. A quick aside when it comes to your bank account. Ideally, you get yourself in a position where you have your bank account at a set value, say $3,000. That way, month by month over time, even though your expenses might be different each month, or even your income might be different each month, you can combat this by having your bank account in a general range. So 1 month, it might go from $3,000 to $2,500, but then over time, it'll come back to the $3,000 mark as some months going forward have less expenses than others. A couple things to note, some sections might not apply for you, so just leave those sections blank. I would suggest filling each specific section first, and then for miscellaneous, just put anything in the category that might be missing. Feel free to edit the categories and the titles the way you want to make it your own. Anything labeled maintenance and repairs, like we have here in transportation, really think about that. Bad things happen with cars and houses, for example, so be sure to estimate a set amount each month that you can use for the unexpected. Maybe like $100 or $200 each month for car. Finally, if you have debt, you will notice in this section here, where I have all the debt section, you will have what is left owing where it says balance outstanding over here. And you can add it for each individual loan. Again, you can change the names based on the loan that you have. It also will have the interest rate for each loan that you can type in here. So type that out to include everything you have. The more accurate, the better, but if you need to just do an estimate and then check later, that's fine. I would suggest you pause the video until you are done this step of filling the spreadsheet. And finally, for the finishing touches to make this accurate, I want to know, does your income and expenses match each other? It is about giving every dollar a job for it to do. And at the bottom of the spreadsheet, I'll use the example over here because it's completed. You should see an extra/difference amount that compares the income and expenses for you. So this amount should be close to zero if you did it correctly. If it's higher, then this is extra money that you may or may not be blowing every month normally. So make sure you put it to work and think about that. If it's actually less than zero, like a negative number, then this is why you're getting into debt, because mathematically it's showing you're spending more than you make. Keep in mind that if in real life cash has been kind of tight, but your plan that you just did says that you have $1,000 extra each month, you probably have something off. So make sure you adjust accordingly. At this point of the video, you've done quite a lot, so great job. I really commend you for it. Now, this was a very important step, but this alone isn't going to change your life. So let's keep it going with part 3. You can click that next.